Hello my people, welcome to another tutorial. My name is Agnes. In today's tutorial I will show you how I made this skirt. You can make this in any size, and also the length you can make it longer. I used different stitches and I will show you how to do this beautiful stitch right here and everything else anyway. So I styled it differently. As you already know, this cardigan the tutorial is already on the channel. You can watch it too if you want to make a full set. I also styled it with this black boots and leather jacket, and then with a pink shirt and pink shoes, just to give you different options. So we are going to get right into the tutorial. So for this skirt, I'm using two types of yarn, and I'm combining the durable comfy yarn. It is 100 grams each skein and 266 meters long. It is microfiber acrylic, and it is sport yarn size 2, that is weight 2. Yeah, it recommends 3 to 4 millimeter hook, but I will be using a 3 millimeter hook. And this other yarn is called durable mohair. It's 50 grams, 190 meters long, and it is a mixture of acrylic, mohair, and wool. It's also size 2, and this is the same as sport. I will be combining these two together, and I used 2 skeins of the mohair and 1.5 of the durable comfy. So for the hook size, I'm going to be using a 3 millimeter hook because I like to have tight stitches for the skirt so that it is not a see-through or anything like that. So we are going to start with the waistband, and for the waistband we are going to be using half double crochets only in the back loop. So you're going to make a slip knot, and we are going to chain 10 chains. So this is going to be like the width, the length, or the thickness, I don't know, the width or the length of our waistband. So once you have 10 chains, you can make this longer or shorter, depends. So we want to chain 2. This will be our turning chain. Okay, so you are going to skip those 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the 3rd chain you're going to work your first half double crochet. Okay, you have 3 loops and then pull through all, yarn over, go into the next chain and make a half double crochet. So that's our 2nd one, and you're going to make your 3rd one in the next chain. So in the total, once you get to the end, you should have a total of 10 half double crochets. Okay, so we are just going to work 1 half double crochet in every chain until we get to the end. Excuse me. So the waistband is half double crochets, and we're going to be working in the back loop. So this is my last one, it's my 10th. This is how our first row looks like. It's 10 half double crochets without counting the chain 2, of course. So we are going to chain 2 to start on our row 2, turn back, and you're going to yarn over, and we will work only in the back loop, not in both loops, but only in the back loop. So you'll go into this first loop here, and you're going to make a half double crochet only in the back loop, and this gives us that ribbed effect, and it is able to stretch much longer than it actually is. So we are going to work a half double crochet in every back loop until we get to the end, and at the end you should have 10 half double crochets. Okay, so the number of double crochets should not change, it's the same number, 10. So that's 9 for me. So this is where you work your last one, right here. So if you find your work is not straight, you're having more stitches or less stitches, so count your stitches and make sure you have the same number of stitches on every row. So for row 3, we are going to just do a repeat of row 2. You will chain 2, turn your work, and we are going to go into this very first back loop here and make a half double crochet. Go into the next loop, make another half double crochet, and we are going to work 10 half double crochets only in the back loop until we get to the end. Okay, so it's 1 half double crochet in every stitch. And now here I'm coming to the end, so this is my last one. And yeah, that's how it looks like. So you're going to chain 2 and turn your work and repeat. So it's 1 half double crochet in the back loop, and we are going to do this all the way, repeating until we have our the length that we need. And this is going to be just for anyone that wants to make a different size. So you are going to need your hips measurements. So measure your hips, and since I'm folding this into 2, I will use half of my hips measurements. So half of your hips measurements, subtract 5 inches from that. Okay, so mine is 34. So half of 34 is 17. So 17 minus 4 is 12. Okay, so my hips measurements is always 34, but I'm folding this band into 2. So I will only subtract 5 from half of my hips measurements. Or you can measure the full band, let's say 34 for me, and take away 10 inches. That's how long your band should be. It stretches, and this should be able to fit the skirt like how it fits me. But if you want it tighter, then you can take away from your hips measurements, you can take away about 12, 14, more, so that it is a bit tighter. Mine is quite loose, that's how I wanted it, but if you want it tighter, take away more than 10. Okay, so once we have this, we are going to join the 2 sides together, and this is how we are going to do it. So people who wonder, oh, how will this pass my hips or whatever, you can always wear a skirt over your head, right? I don't know. I always thought it is clear that if it doesn't pass your hips, then you can just wear it over your head. Anyway, we are going to join this using slip stitches, and I'm working in the outer loop while joining to the other side where we had the starting chain. So depends on what row you end with. It could be that I could also be working in the front loop and joining to the other side if I was working on a row that ends on the wrong side, because this is the wrong side. I don't know. You will see how you can join it. It's just joining in every stitch until you get to the end, and I'm using slip stitches for this. Okay, so you can either work in the back loop or in the front loop, depends on how it looks on the other side. Okay, so once you're done, then we are going to work on a single crochet stitch, and this is going to be very important because there's a way it makes increase. We will not be making increases in the skirt, but on this row, and this is how it will be able to fit your hips. So our waistband is smaller than our actual work down. Okay, so now this is how it looks on this side. All right, and we are going to work a row of single crochets all around. So watch this. You're going to chain 1, and we're going to be placing 2 stitches in every row. Okay, I mean the rows we're working them vertically and horizontally, and now I'm working vertically. I think I don't know the word. Anyway, look where I'm placing the stitches. So I place in this half double crochet here, stitch right here, and then in this valley at the bottom of the stitch I place a single crochet, and then I place in this half double crochet here, and then at the top of the stitch right here. So it's like I have valleys and hills and peaks. So inside this stitch, and then in the valley there's that little valley you will see. Okay, so continue doing this, working in the stitch, in the valley, in the stitch, at the peak, until you get to the end of the round. Okay, so I'm coming to the end, and this is how it looks like, and this is going to be my last one. Then you're going to go on top of that single crochet and slip stitch. So now we are going to be working different kind of stitch. I'm going to be using a double crochet, and then when I finish the row I make a half double crochet, but that was my choice. You can always do double crochets, everything, you know, that was just me trying out something to see how it looks. Okay, so we are going to chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as a stitch, so we will not work in this very same here because it counts as a stitch. Instead, we're going to go into the next stitch and make a double crochet like this. Then we are going to go into every stitch with a double crochet. All right, so I like to make my stitches tight because with skirts I don't like to wear stuff under, you know. I just want to have it not a see-through, then you don't have to put a lining or whatever. Okay, and of course tighter stitches are neater. So make double crochets until you come to the end. So I'm coming to the end, and I put my last double crochet on top of my last single crochet from the previous row. So you're going to go on top of this chain 3 here and make a slip stitch to close this off. This is how it looks like. So you want neat stitches, then make them tight and use a smaller hook. So for the next row I want to use a half double crochet, so I will chain only 2, then turn our work, and chain 2 counts as a stitch. So I will go on top of this previous double crochet. This is where the chain is, and this is where our first double crochet is. So I'll go on top of the previous double crochet and make a half double crochet. So I'm going to go into every stitch with a half double crochet. Like I said, this row you can also make it with double crochets. I was just trying to try out something new, really nothing specific, just being curious. I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I'm coming to the end, and I'm going to work my last stitches. So my last half double crochet is going to be on top of my previous double crochet. Okay, and once I'm done with that last one, then I'm going to go on top of the chain 2 here and close it off with a slip stitch. So the next one, you may guess, it is a double crochet. So I'll chain 3, then turn my work, and I'm going to work my first double crochet on top of the previous half double crochet. Okay, so this is how it looks like when you work a half double crochet and double crochet rows. So I guess that's what I wanted to see, just how it looks like. So we are going to work a double crochet in every stitch all the way around. And basically this is going to be the pattern. So it's going to, for me, it's going to be a repeat of one double crochet row, and then turn into a half double crochet row, and then turn into double crochet row. And we don't need any increases. This will fit your hips, your big bums very nicely with no increases at all. Okay, so that is if you did the single crochet row right. Okay, so now once you get to the end, you do a slip stitch on top of the chain 3, and then chain 2, turn your work, and repeat. Okay, so on top of the double crochet I will make a half double crochet, basically where there's a chain, another chain will be on top of it, and where there's a double crochet, then a half double crochet will be on top of it. Okay, so we are going to repeat this all over until we have the length that we need before we put the cross stitch that I have at the bottom, which is like very cute, by the way. So just, you see, it looks bigger than the waist because, you know, it is bigger than the waist. This should be able to fit your hips if you did the right measurements like I told you to, and did the single crochet row right. Okay, so I tried it on and I wanted to see if I was ready to put on the other stitch, because I just wanted to do about 6 rows of the egg stitch, and I think the length was okay, so that was okay for me. And when I measured this, let's say it is 10 inches long, so mine is 10 inches long before I put on the egg stitch, and I'm a size extra small. I am height 155 centimeters long, so I'm quite short. So we are going to start on the egg stitch. So the egg stitch is like double crochets just crossing each other. So you're going to chain you're going to chain 3. I already had a chain 1 there, and you're going to work a double crochet, right? And then now let's start on the egg stitch. So you're going to skip this first stitch and go into the second stitch and make a double crochet, and then you're going to go backwards to the stitch that you skipped and then make a double crochet just like that, and then you have an X, right? And then same thing, you're going to skip your next stitch and go into the one after that, make a double crochet, and then go back into the one you skipped, make a double crochet. Same thing, skip 1 stitch, go into the next, double crochet, go back to the one that you skipped, make a double crochet, skip 1 stitch, go into the next, make a double crochet, go backwards, make a double crochet. And just like this, you're going to repeat this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of the round just to show you how we do the next row. Okay, so I'm coming to the end, and this is how it looks like. So you could either have a place to do the egg stitch here, or just one double crochet, doesn't matter. Do either the egg stitch or one double crochet, it is okay. But me, I had 2 stitches left, so I just did the egg stitch. So once you're done, you're just going to go into that on top of the chain 3 and then close it off. Okay, like this. So for the egg stitch, we are going to be working in the same direction. The other stitches we're turning our work. Here we're not going to turn our work. So chain 3 and put a double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. And now you're going to put a cross on top of a cross. So skip 1 stitch, go into the next, make a cross and make a double crochet, and then go into the one that you skipped and make a double crochet. So you are just going to work the same pattern like before, where you skip 1 stitch, then work a double crochet in the next stitch, and then go into the stitch that you skipped and crochet a double crochet, and repeat this until you get to the end, then close it off, and then begin again and again and again until you do the number of rows that you want. And once you're done with that, then the last stitch, still in the same direction, I mean the last row, still in that same direction, I worked a half double crochet row just to close it off. Okay, so do that. Once you're done with everything, I will see you then. So this is what I worked, and I worked about let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then did this half double crochet row at the end. And yeah, that's how the skirt looks like. And we are going to put the drawstring. So make a long chain and sew it in like this. I usually like to put it at the very top because then it's not seen at all. Okay, so I sew it in like this using my needle and then just pull it through. And then just keep sewing like this, in and out, in and out, in and out. I like to put it, you see how it is, my needle goes under the peaks, then it's not visible when I'm wearing it. And I will be putting the, you know, where we start our rows and end our rows, I'll be putting this on the side when I wear the skirt. Then it is not, if you put it at the back, it's so obvious, but if you put it on the side, it's like invisible or something. So I like to put it on the side. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the skirt. If you like to do this cardigan, the tutorial link, I'm going to leave it in the comment section, or just scroll one video before. And yeah, so oh, and I have written patterns available, so check the description box for details about the yarn and some of the patterns that are already available. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next tutorial, I think, which is going to be the pants that I did for the shirt. This time around, it's the pants. Okay, bye.